Welcome back to Bros in Landfill. Haha, funny thing on screen where miserable human beings suck at playing video games.
That's a pretty good quip. Try.
Is
Hi,
that
everybody.
the start of our episode? I'm
think it has to be.
confused.
Welcome to the position of all of our viewers, Tar. Like, it's just sometimes, sometimes we just don't make any sense. Sometimes we do a cold open, and sometimes who gives a shit? We're talking Pokemon today. We've talked Pokemon before. I think we've earned a laugh or two.
The sensation of this can't possibly be the show is, in fact, a sentiment shared by our entire user base. So,
that is kind of the gimmick of our show. It's like it's like the I can't believe it's not real butter of podcasts.
You were
I can
laboring under
believe
the
it's not real
assumption that
butter.
this was butter, but fuck you, it's margarine.
Oh shit! Fuck you! It's ghee.
what
I
is
don't know
ghee?
what that is,
It
other
is,
than an article
ghee.
of clothing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very topical for today. So anyways, ghee is basically kind of like butter with all the milk product taken out, and it's prevalent in like a lot of Indian food, and it's good for your tummy, and I like it on rice. Does it take a sip of my ginger tea?
I don't
Take a
I
sip of
don't
my
like the
coconut.
idea of taking butter and making it healthier, but I feel xenophobic for being gluttonous. So
Like ghee like butter, like is only good on certain things. Like I think ghee is actually like better on rice than butter is, but I wouldn't necessarily use ghee as a butter replacement. So it's like it's like a different thing. Like ghee can like moisten rice without it making it too creamy that like butter can,
just a light moistening.
Yes.
I feel like we could pick words that make it sound more appetizing.
Yeah.
But,
Anyways, speaking of things about appetizing, the Pokemon Direct today, and I am proud to be it wasn't today, it was like earlier this week. I am proud to be the person to say is that we're getting a Pokemon Cafe update.
Bro, I was ready to talk about ghee for like another 10 minutes. You made the right call. I was fully prepared and strapped in.
So, we don't have to talk about Pokemon Direct. We can talk about ghee.
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
this
thing
is
that
our
martial
show.
artists wear.
Yeah. That nice flowy garment. So are we just gonna go through does anyone have a list of bullet points? Or are we just gonna go through all the different news pieces and
I guess we can like just knock off the mobile games because those are a thing. Very disappointed that we didn't get any more Pokemon Brush Your Teeth updates.
Yeah, seriously. Because the thing that I like about I'm not even really much of a Pokemon guy, but I often watch these live streams at 1 a.m. for no reason. And one thing I always appreciate about them is that like the last time I watched one of these, there was fucking Pokemon Brush Your Teeth, which was just I was already half tired and not sure what I was seeing is real. And it just floored me. It was like can you just imagine like new Pokemon news, everybody? And then this shit pops up.
Legit kind of funny. Like I think they knew what they were dealing with.
It's great.
No.
It's a surprise.
Are
and
we
before
being
that,
ironic right now?
Of course.
I don't know. I like it. Like I said, I'm not much of a Pokemon guy, and so just seeing whatever absurdity shows up. The fact that they have a sleep app and a teeth app, and neither of them are like they don't talk about the sleep thing anymore. It feels like some practical joke they played a couple of years ago. I don't know. That's what I come to Pokemon
Brush
things
Your
for.
Teeth thing feels like a practical joke they launched a couple of years ago.
No,
I
but
mean, like,
but the sleep thing didn't come out. I don't think. Did it?
Did it?
I don't remember.
fucking know.
if it did, it went under the radar more than Pokemon Brush Your Teeth. Look, the game isn't even called that, and we're it is like, was it like a Pokemon Smile or something? I forgot. I
that
totally
makes
Yeah,
forget.
that sounds right.
But like it's like so irrelevant and such a meme that like the only thing people remember it for is AR Pokemon teeth brushing.
There is a 0% chance the game is called Pokemon Brush Your Teeth.
They should have called it that. Let's be
0.
completely let's be honest. They should have called it Pokemon Brush Your Teeth.
I can stand by that.
Like, you don't brush your own teeth. The Pokemon brush your teeth for you. You put it up to your screen and you just smile, and it's like,
I don't know how
And
I
then you
feel
get-
about
and-
having a Gardevoir brush my teeth.
Hey, who said it had to be a Gardevoir?
Speak for yourself. I mean, yeah. Who says it has to be a Gardevoir?
Anyways, like any Pokemon mobile game news, the only people that really are going to care about them are the people already playing it. Cafe Mix is Cafe Mix, like many sort of match 3 like games, is fun until you hit the roadblock. Clearly, this is where they want you to start spending money, so it becomes arbitrarily difficult.
My thought on that game was like it looked really pretty, like a really cute art style and a cute vibe, and then I played it and it was just like the gameplay was about the same as brushing your teeth, to be honest. It was just
you
move
just
your
rub it until everything goes away.
yeah, which is how I deal with a lot of my
It's like a
problems.
direction.
There was a lot of very busy explosion work going on in the fucking 30 seconds of that trailer that I saw.
Yeah,
That's kind of how it works.
it's just like just wobble and shake it and all that, and it's just like, wow,
The game
very good. You're smart. Wow, good job with this game, Brett.
Like the game, I'm trying to figure out how to get across what I'm trying to say, because if I say the game does not look stable, that does not accurately portray it. But like the aesthetics, like it doesn't, like I don't even think I saw like a proper grid. It looked like a circle.
Yeah.
I
So
think
the idea
I might be going
is that-
crazy.
The idea is that it doesn't have a grid. Everything is just like you have a bunch of like almost like
Yeah, there's
bubbles
just, like,
that
a
are
bunch of bubbles
that you move.
here. It's just like a bunch of
Like and you move and you match them around.
Aren't they kind of physicsy? Like they have gravity
Yeah,
and stuff?
yeah.
Yeah.
How does the game figure out whether you've matched 3?
It depends on which ones you touch, and then as they make contact, because you move them around, like everything is like physics based, so it all moves around as you go, and as they make contact with other ones that you were touching. But that also means that you don't really get like the satisfying of making chains and combos that you get in other match 3 games. It's literally just, oh, I have this one Pokemon that I'm trying to focus on at this given time.
So it's not match 3. It's fucking Destructimatch or whatever you want to fucking.
Yeah,
call
I mean
it.
it's the same type of it's the same type of principle as a match 3 game where it's like, oh
yeah, that's right. I
like,
played Neopets.
Hell yeah.
Have you done your dailies today?
Shit, let me do that.
Yeah, I know we're doing a show and everything, but you gotta get those dailies.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Actually, I hear they actually reworked the site so that it's fucking dog shit now.
I am glad we were talking about Pokemon, but better.
Damn,
I mean-
bro. Holy shit. Back up for a second.
I mean, let's be real here. Like, the one thing that Neopets has over Pokemon is that Pokemon doesn't have Pokemon.
What?
Gads, man, you're right.
In Neopets, your pets can have pets, and your pets can have pets.
Oh,
In Pokemon,
you can have grand pets.
Like legitimately, like in Pokemon, there's none of that. It's just the Pokemon, and it makes it infinitely worse in
I can't
every single way.
Are you being ironic right now?
Yeah, of course. I think I've been watching a little bit too much Scott the Wise, so now I've just gone in pure like ironic absurdity.
Okay, I'm glad we have this established.
Look, I can only go so many episodes of Scott the Wise talking about like having friends who both love and hate Gex, before I completely lose my sanity.
I genuinely have Neopets fan art in my pictures folder. I've never actually played Neopets, but I had a friend who fell deep into the abyss.
Well, and that's how we know that you're a superior human being.
Because I didn't play Neopets, or because I drew Neopets?
Because you drew Neopets.
Thank you.
Anyways, back on topic. We are like 10 minutes in, and we have barely talked Pokemon.
Yeah, we have. We talked about brushing our teeth.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, the one thing I was just there's
Oh, that's nice.
The thing with Cafe Mix is it's one of those mechanics that borderlines between it's too easy and it's too hard, and finding a middle ground, like in the stages, like was always kind of weird when I was playing it.
I don't think I got far enough in to like
Yeah.
find any difficulty. I was in the very kind of
Yeah,
beginning
no, like
shit
when it
where
gets
it was like calling me a very good boy, a very big
Yeah,
boy.
it adds difficulty in by adding I mean, I guess like most match 3, like it adds difficulty by adding more mechanics and more puzzle types.
Okay.
Which basically comes down to match this Pokemon near this thing, or use this thing to move Pokemon around or whatever. And it just gets super weird, especially when you're like dealing with RNG of Pokemon spawning that you need for finishing off a level. And then like it gets really weird. It's like, oh, you're trying, like you have to drag Pokemon from the, like a bottom of a pile up to the top because you have like weird physics stages. Like it just got more annoying as you play.
Well, in that case, I don't think this update is gonna make me any more likely to return to Pokemon Cafe Mix. I think the most interesting thing about the game is that I have a friend who has a coworker named Leah who looks exactly like Leah from Pokemon Cafe Mix.
That's amazing.
And so that makes me feel like there's some kind of glitch in the Matrix, or I don't know.
My one thing about Pokemon Cafe Mix is I feel like it'd just be better if it was just a regular match 3 game or something like a spin on Pokemon Trotsy.
Pokemon Trotsky?
The communist Pokemon, you know. No, like Pokemon Trozy, the DS game that
Troze, that's okay.
Troze. Yeah, I think the physics-based Cafe Mix adds a weird level of quote-unquote skill into a puzzle game that isn't always the most responsive when you're playing on a touchscreen.
Can somebody please say Pikachu, the communist Pokemon, in the Pokédex voice? I need
Pikachu, the communist Pokemon. Damn it!
Thanks. It's good to know that I have 2 friends I can depend on in a crisis. You were both there for me with no hesitation. No hesitation.
I'm guess moving on to the gacha game, Pokemon Master Gex.
Pokemon Master Gex?
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not really sure what this game is, to be honest.
It is a gacha game. That's all you need to know. We're gonna move on from here. It's a gacha game. I played it. I played it like on launch.
Audacity picks that up a little bit, but that could probably be tuned out.
Yeah, I'll fix it. I'll beat up your background sounds.
Sick.
Anyways,
okay, so are the gachas Pokemon or trainers? I can't tell.
Both. So every gacha thing is a trainer with their Pokemon. So like you'll have like it'll be like with their iconic Pokemon, or like you have different forms of a trainer with different Pokemon. It's all right, I guess. I found it kind of bare bones for a gacha game when it first came out. I just wasn't feeling it, especially when I had other gacha games to be playing.
Well, I mean, who really gives a shit about the trainers? I mean, I guess I'm not in the Pokemon world.
You don't play. You obviously don't play gachas.
This is like very much a fan service.
Those PNGs are all that you live for.
Yeah, I mean, currently at this moment I am playing Magia Record JP on my phone as we are talking right now, and all I'm seeing is PNGs.
How are your PNGs, Trybien?
Pretty swell. I scored big today on the gacha with the anniversary event. Pretty freaking happy. Like legit, nearly back to back 4 stars of the anniversary character.
I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming they're hot.
I mean, I'd say the Magic Record style is more cutesy than hot, but okay.
Well, you don't have to. Don't have to judge anybody like that.
I mean, there are some characters with big fucking titties, but you know, like
there's anyway, Pokemon Monsters X.
That's industry standard.
Yeah,
that's true. It's a competitive workplace out there.
Yeah, I guess I'm moving on. I think was the next one Pokemon Unite or something? I don't know. I've played it. I don't know anything about it.
The next thing is Pokemon Go.
No one cares about Pokemon Go. It's irrelevant. Clearly, it's like it was only relevant during the Hillary Clinton campaign of 2016.
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
I never really played this game because when it was a thing, my phone was not good enough, and also I never went outside, so that probably doesn't help.
I still don't go outside.
I played it for a bit, but like my where I live was not a good place to be playing Pokemon. Just not a lot to be doing.
Well, it was Team Rocket out in the streets a lot?
Oh no, just there weren't a lot of places to stop by. Like Pokemon Go was a game that was most fun for people like in cities and stuff like that. You had a bunch of Pokemon stops. A lot of the Pokemon spawns were based off of cellular use in the area. So if you like live in a suburban area and you don't live near any like metro areas, it's like, well, shit, you're fucked. I think they fixed that as the game went on. Like they made it better for people outside of the city areas, but it
Right. Well, the
like, I
zeitgeist
already
was at the
gone.
start, you know.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Looks like none of us have anything there. So the next thing is the remasters.
Did we talk about Pokemon Unite? I mean,
no, we didn't
I,
talk
I,
about
I,
Pokemon. We
I
didn't
think we
talk about
skipped it.
Pokemon Smite.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, because I have occasionally been playing it. Like,
All right,
Yeah,
all
I
right.
have a
Let's go
couple-
into that.
I have a couple of
Yeah.
buddies who've been playing Pokemon MOBA.
yeah. I mean, it's fun. It kind of you just need to be playing with the right people. I think really. Since you'll be playing with a lot of kids as well with randos.
Yeah,
on either side.
I was gonna say they've been having a lot of fun dunking on a whole bunch of 10-year-olds.
Well, it's also fun when you get the 10-year-olds on your team and then they don't know what they're doing, and then all of a sudden you got someone like who's supposed to be jungling going down and being like, "Oh yes, I'm just constantly dying to the other team."
So the best and worst part of Pokemon Unite is 10-year-olds because either you can crush them or they'll ruin your team.
Yeah, the more real life people you have playing with you, not real. That sounds horrible. The more people you know,
10-year-olds
playing with
aren't
you,
real.
Especially if
Only
especially if you're
your
on call-
friends are real.
Yeah, I
that's
got it.
right. Yeah, exactly. The more people you know that you're playing with, especially if you're in a voice duel, the better time you'll have because there's more control. Especially because like what the one thing that's actually I'd say worse than playing with 10-year-olds is playing with people who
Is playing with 9-year-olds.
No, people who drop out of the game. So like you'll have people that just like disconnect. So you'll be like down like guarding your area or like making advancements or whatever, and then all of a sudden like the top row's not being protected, and then everybody like all the enemies be like, oh yeah, we'll just come and gang up on you downstairs, like down in the bottom row because we're having absolutely no whatchamacallit, like no resistance up top.
Sure. I think it's true of pretty much any team game
Yeah.
or communication gives you a strong advantage that you just want to be playing with people you know or can at least hear. 100%.
Well, I'd say especially with Pokemon Unite because like it turns into such a stump. I've had so few games that were actually close.
Yeah.
It usually becomes very due to the level system. It becomes very one-sided very fast.
Oh yeah.
Like, and
So
then you have
so it's very hard to make a comeback.
Again, and the comeback mechanics as well are kind of obnoxious. So the closest thing you have a comeback mechanic is you have, at least with the current map, you have Zapdos spawn and you get immediate points for killing Zapdos, and then you get ×2 points on when scoring on opponent's goals, which is great and all. However, given the way that it's done is whoever gets the final hit on Zapdos gets the reward. So you could have your team like just wailing at Zapdos, almost kill him, and then have another person from the other team come and use their ult and take Zapdos away from you.
Yeah, that reminds me of Halo 5 Warzone. Why am I making a reference that nobody will care about?
I didn't even know there was a Halo 5.
I didn't know there was a Warzone.
Okay, my case exactly. All right. Should we move on to the remasters?
I'm just gonna say the only thing I know about Pokemon Unite is that apparently Eldegoss is fucking broken.
They nerfed Eldegoss.
Oh, they nerfed it? Okay.
Yeah.
Eldegoss?
Yeah. You know what's fucked? Pikachu is actually like legit like one of the best characters in the
Oh
game.
yeah, Pikachu's
is
also
done.
a little shithead.
Yeah. They're giving Pikachu out to free for everybody who pre-registers on the mobile version.
So you don't get
That's
Pokemon
fucked.
to start Pikachu to start with?
No, you get Pokemon. You unlock Pokemon by collecting coins in game and then purchasing them with the in-game shop.
Oh yeah, I did. I've heard that there's a bit of controversy just because it is like the kind of game where kids might want to spend money to
Yeah.
get their favorite boys.
The one nice thing about the game though is that like every like day they have select Pokemon that you can use for free. Like it'll be like limited time. Like, oh yes, this is one of the select Pokemons you can use. So
Oh
like
yeah.
you will. So it's like as long as you're playing every day, it's like you'll get a chance to use every of the different available Pokemon.
I think Killer
'Cause you wanna
Instinct
use them
had something
permanent-
like that. Which is a
Sounds pretty killer to me.
all of my references are from like fucking 8 years ago or something. I have no idea what's
Specifically
going
at like Microsoft.
Halo 5
games.
was 8 years ago?
on. Hang on. No, it wasn't 8 years ago, but it was a while ago. Halo 5 release date. It was 2015, so it was 6
2015,
years
so that-
ago. So Halo 5 came out ages ago. This is the longest gap between Halo games, like pretty much ever.
I hope that means the next one's good.
I'm praying, dude.
Hey, they have Bethesda working with Microsoft now. Maybe we'll have like the Bethesda Halo game and have it like released like 10
Master
times.
Chief fucking clips into the floor
Perfect.
for 7 hours.
I love it. You have like this this spanning like story where you can just like make multiple choices that like all amount to like nothing because it's like, oh hey,
We need
I-
to tell
Game
our
crashed.
story.
I would love it if halfway through a fight in Halo I could pause and eat 17 soups.
I guess
Deploying
moving on
technical
to the
chicken
I guess
soup.
that brings us to the remasters.
yeah,
That definitely brings us to the remasters.
So I'd like to start this conversation off by saying this is probably the most excited I've been for a Pokemon remaster. The Sinnoh region was my favorite region growing up. Has a close place in my heart. Favorite Pokemon games.
You want to
So,
play as Baby Dawn?
No, I don't want to play as Baby. But you completely threw me off my train of thought there. Oh god damn it.
Hey, what am I here
Um,
for?
Hey, yeah, I mean, yeah, you do the job perfectly. No, but I'm also like cautiously worried because like I'd say like after like the Hoenn remakes, I'm a bit cautiously worried about the state of like what this next one's going to be like.
I'm waiting for an elaboration.
Well,
Why are we worried about it?
it's I'm trying to think of, like exactly because no, this is more commonplace. I was never a fan of the Home region was my first Pokemon game, but I was never a fan of the Home region. And then
Yeah, same here.
hearing fans of the game like being like not necessarily happy with the remake, or whatever, like the Alpha Sapphire Omega Ruby Omega, yeah, that's right. Like always makes me a little bit worried when coming into the next generation, especially since Heart Gold and Soul Silver was supposed to like is like one of the most beloved Pokemon versions out there.
So what didn't people like about the Hoenn remasters, remakes?
I know part of it like it was like the extended story that was like added on. People weren't necessarily happy with that.
Oh, so they expanded the story.
Yeah, there was like a whole like extra chapter added on.
That's actually interesting. Just because I was talking to my brother recently about how in old games, like the fact that the story is kind of minimal sometimes means that like you're left to kind of project what you think it is from the pieces that you have, and so if they add on more stuff later, it can be actually just like, I guess it's like when people see a movie adaptation of a book they liked and they didn't like the interpretation of all the stuff that was in their head. So yeah, especially if it's a game you played as like a kid, seeing more added to it could kind of ruin the magic a bit.
Well, I think the other thing too is like at least with some of the remakes, is that they're clearly like almost like if that Pokemon story was told in a more modern day after the knowledge of these other Pokemon games. So like it's they're a lot, I feel like they're a lot closer to remakes than they are necessarily just, oh yes, this is Sapphire and Ruby HD with modern graphics or whatever. Like clearly they're being made like as modern interpretations of those games. And I kind of see that with the Sinnoh games. And I see things like I really like in there. I like that they bring back the underground. I love that they have like little Pokemon areas for you to catch Pokemon down there, make it feel a bit more connected with the world. Because one of my criticisms with the original Pokemon Diamond and Pearl is that the whole underground area kind of just felt like a separate multiplayer goof around area rather than something that was actually like connected to everything you're going. Like it felt like a separate game within the game.
But Trybien, you could pick up elemental plates underground.
Yeah, I know, but I think but also some of my favorite parts were underground. I loved the capture the flag stuff. I loved setting up the traps, which also conveniently missing from the trailer. Like legit, like one of my favorite parts of the Diamond and Pearl games was all the goofy traps you could set up in the underground to prevent people from trying to steal your flag. But it looks like this time it's like seems built just as a single player experience, and I kind of feel like that misses the point of what the underground was and what made it special.
I mean, maybe they just haven't shown it yet, but it is weird that because this felt like a pretty big blowout. So, yeah, are they saving a marketing beat or have they just changed it? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see them changing it because even just I'd say the inclusion of catching Pokemon down there makes it seem like it's more of a single player. Like it's more of like it is more of a thing they're thinking of as a single player experience,
like a side campaign or something.
Yeah. Where I'd actually say, and I'd say the same thing with the Pokemon contests. Like now, the Pokemon contests are things that I really enjoyed in the anime. Were always very weird to play in the game, and I've got mixed feelings with that. Like what it seems like they're doing with them and the remakes. So I think one of the things, and at least what they did in the anime, what made the Pokemon contest really cool is it really seemed like more of a highlighting Pokemon skills and making the attacks like it's more like we're seeing like how to make attacks visually pleasing and how to show them to an audience and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the both Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl like had like that was like while it was goofy, it was still present. Like you're still choosing moves and they had different effects and whatnot. Like you didn't have like the spectacle, obviously, but it was still that idea. For it to be a rhythm game in the upcoming ones, like just kind of seems like a bit weird. No, I might like it, but I don't think that.
Hang on. Is it pure rhythm game now?
Well, I don't know.
I know in Diamond and Pearl contests before there was a section of the contest that was rhythm.
Yeah, but I say they only show and they could have just maybe only showed off the rhythm game part of it, but it kind of like going back to the underground. It's like I almost feel like it's taking a watered down aspect of it and making it like why are you like if I was showing off the Pokemon thing, like if I was showing off the or trying to bring back the Pokemon contest, I'd be like, oh, this is about Pokemon moves, let's make the moves look cool and focus on that, or like show like off some strategy and whatnot. And then we could like if the rhythm games in there, we show a bit of that. But for it to just be shown as the rhythm game, kind of makes me worried.
Yeah, well, I hope the interpretation is more like how you would hope it is, and that was just showing off a particular aspect of it.
Yeah, and I could like in this where it could be for not. Obviously like maybe it was just like a marketing thing, like they decided to show off that because I thought it was more visually interesting, or they're holding stuff back or whatever. But
I get you though. This is a game that is
makes sense.
This is a game that's special to you, and it's like There's kind of a sacred responsibility in redoing or remastering or remaking something that people have attachment to.
Yeah. Well,
And
I'd say
sometimes they're going to try and make different creative decisions from the original, because you can't make exactly the same game. So,
yeah. Oh, exactly. And that makes me like hope like, okay, well, maybe they'll be able to do like, maybe what they're adding into it like will more than make up for it. Like I think the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl story like by itself holds up enough as is that I think it's gonna be a satisfying experience, and really these are side things that don't particularly matter to the core experience of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl.
yeah, these are kind
Right.
of the periphery
Yeah.
content.
Like, and you know what? Like, I'd be completely fine. Like, if they like, let's hyper focus on making the core experience good, and let's just bring back those. But then you have things like they bring up and they actually like enhance the Pokemon sticker mechanic. Like, I loved putting stickers on my Pokeball, and to see that like, oh, you can actually place them 360 around your Pokeball, pretty freaking neat.
I
don't
actually
necessarily know-
love pointless bullshit.
Yeah.
Love that like that.
Yeah, like,
That's my jam.
It's one of those things where it's like, did they is this something that dev time needed to go into? But at the same time, it probably didn't take that much dev time to make work in the first place compared to anything else in the game. So like,
Well, I think
I'm
for me, like, I don't know, a big part of the appeal of Pokemon is like, oh, I'm gonna catch all these little animals, and they're gonna be my animals. I'm gonna name them, and I'm gonna have my own attachments
Yeah.
to them and stuff. And so I think being able to change your outfit or customize the Pokeballs, like, it's all like adding to that personalization
Oh, yeah.
element, which just makes it feel, I don't know, like,
well, it kind of goes like that's one of the features like that I've just sorely been missing in the Pokemon games. Like, I know it's a small thing, but it was just so iconic to me, just being able to put the stickers on the Pokemon and finally have it come back, like be absent in all these games, and then yeah, you guys remember this?
I mean, I like putting stickers on things in real life, so
Yeah.
it's perfect.
You know, crap. I remember seeing like either a meme of something or like some like it's like or like it's like a big deal that a game brings back a feature that everybody loves instead of them just like putting it into every game. But it becomes a big deal that like that feature's back in.
Well, they've created a hunger and demand and gravitas to putting stickers on your Pokeball.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive. I feel like we should probably move on to the next game soon, but I
Yeah.
did want to add just that I think the game genuinely graphically looks a lot better than the first time they showed it. I'm not going to say that it looks
Yeah.
amazing or even like modern exactly, but the first time they showed it off, I think it looked god awful. I think it was really unappealing to look at, largely because of the palette. It turns out, because they've changed up the lighting and the colors quite a lot, and even though it's still those really low poly characters and everything, like it's just much more pleasant. It was so I got to give them props for that. And generally, when you see a game pre-release and you're like, that looks gross, and people are like, well, it might look better when it comes out, I usually don't believe them. And I've really been kind of proven wrong here.
I
Yeah.
mean, I quite like I mean, I know we joke about like Baby Dawn stuff, but I do like the direction of like keeping it to something like taking that similar idea of like the character sprites were cutesy in Diamond and Pearl. Like that, like there's no denying that the original one that like kind of like top down, very round, very bulbous, and just taking that and making it 3D.
It's weird
I think-
though. Like I get what they're doing, but I mean, I've always just felt this is a weird direction for 3D Pokemon in general, just because like, or it's a weird like
Okay, so I actually played a little bit of Gen 7. I never touched Gen 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought that making them not chibi anymore was a weird way to take it.
Yeah, I actually agree with.
I
Tar.
actually like the super chibi version better. I like Bobblehead Dawn better than fucking gangly limbed
Gangly.
anime boy.
Yeah, I just feel like in the original games, like the characters are chibified on that screen because they only have so many pixels. It's like it's a purposeful abstraction
that was born
of the
necessity.
form. Yeah, and so like it's just my brain is just a bit like, why are you doing it like that now? But I mean, you guys actually like Pokemon,
Well,
so
well, I think
Kind of.
think about it this way. Um, I think it's more about maintaining that sort of a classic sort of feel. So you recently, I say recently, but you played the classic Dragon Quest games.
yes.
Um,
Oh, I played the
now
first one.
like and you know like how like classic games like have this sort of feel
Yeah.
to them that um and I feel like Pokemon kind of has a very distinct identity and feel, especially between 1 through 5. 6 starts to stray from that feel, and I won't say straying and taking new directions in series are necessarily a bad thing. We'll be talking about that a bit more with the Arceus games.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of what makes the game magical is that aesthetic and that feel of the time.
Wait, there's more than.
And
Of course, it's Pokemon. Of course, there's more than one. But there's more than one Arceus game.
no, maybe I misspoke. Like when we talk about the Arceus game coming up,
Yeah.
like the Legends.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think I think something that like when it comes to like something like even like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, like I feel like that almost strayed away from the core feel a little too much.
Okay.
Where I think something like the Diamond and Pearl remakes like does the job of capturing that like top down feel, those like chibi pixel characters but brought into a modern generation
I mean,
that frankly that we're never going to get again.
these games are not. I think they're, or at least this current remake, it's in an interesting place, like in between, like remake and reimagining, or I guess it's more on the remake end, but like
Yeah.
because there's different ways to sort of update a game. Like you can either port it basically as is and tweak a few bits and bobs to make it modern, or you can remake the game at exactly how it was, or you can almost completely reimagine the entire concept. So like you've got like Crash Bandicoot remake, and then you've got Final Fantasy VII remake that take a very different approach to redoing the source material. So like, yeah, I think these Diamond and Pearl remakes are not going as far as like, you know.
I think it's a lot closer to something similar to like the Link's Awakening approach, where I think the fact of the matter, this is where I was kind of going with the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, is like when you look at something like the map designs, like these older games due to limitations have very cramped, flat, kind of like oddly designed maps
Yeah.
that don't make sense in a lived experience. And when you kind of take the characters out of those chibi forms, you make them a bit like more human like, or like maybe like more generic anime like at least for me it almost makes it feel more like it takes away from that I mean, as you're talking about like earlier, it's like it takes away from like that imagination, like by making one element more realistic and the rest of it not. It makes it almost a bit jarring. Where keeping the characters chibi makes it still feel like it's maybe not this is how exactly it looks, but like
it's
more like a representation or a
invoking the
diorama.
idea, yeah. No, well, because I guess you could say that's part of those games, that there's a bit of abstraction going on.
Yeah, that's
and
what I
so
was
at
looking
least
for,
when
yeah.
it comes to a remake, if you start peeling away the layers of abstraction, it stops feeling like that original thing. So
Where I think like
maybe they are making the right call.
well, and I think that's very true about like something like I'd say like Gen 7. I think Gen 7 of the Hoenn, like the games that take place in Alola. Like I think it works very well that they don't have the chibi style, because they make the Alola region feel more like a lived place. This isn't just your roots, your square block of things. Everything's feels a bit more lived in, and having a chibi character walk around there, like it's designed knowing that this is going to be more human-like characters. Where something like Gen 4 and before is like the maps are designed in a certain way that benefit towards a more like chibi sprite-like sort of character.
That benefits a D-pad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you were going to change any of that stuff, it would be a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this feels like a good transitional conversation topic to get into Pokemon Legends Arceus, because, I mean, if you want to talk about a game that is sort of changing things from the ground up to, I guess,
They
modernize
waifu baited
Pokemon.
Cyrus.
Yes,
What?
that is so true.
They waifu baited Cyrus.
I don't know what that. I don't even have the beginnings of the prerequisite knowledge to understand what the fuck you're saying.
They turned Cyrus into waifu bait.
What is Cyrus? And is it an Animal Crossing sheep?
Wait. Wait. Oh no. Spoiler alert: Cyrus was the big bad in Gen 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a big shocking surprise. I mean, he's the leader of Team Galactic. I mean, Pokemon's not very coy about these things, you know.
Not most of the time, anyway.
Anyways, yes,
Yeah, they turned Cyrus into waifu bait. That's the only thing I know about.
So my first impressions watching the Arceus trailer is I'm really excited because it looks like a tech demo for what they're going to be doing for the next Pokemon game. This is something I've been thinking about. So I guess this is me coming from a place. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is coming out pretty much around the same time as Pokemon. Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl, or whatever the way around that goes.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to be focused on Shin Megami Tensei 5. But something I've noticed with that is it's very much clearly using the engine from the Tokyo Mirage Sessions Fire Emblem crossover, whatever.
Okay.
And for me, that makes the existence of Tokyo Mirage Sessions as it is make so much sense since that went through development hell. It's like, well, shit. The original concept for this stuff isn't working. What do we do? Let's use this to test out and make the engine for the next mainline Shin Megami Tensei game. And looking at the new Shin Megami Tensei game makes a ton of sense. It looks great. What I'm seeing here is after, especially after all the controversy around Sword and Shield, like still it's a great best-selling Pokemon game of all time. People love it. Whatever. I haven't played it. I don't particularly intend to. I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan. I like things about the Pokemon universe. I'm not particularly always the biggest fan of the mainline games.
Yeah.
But what the immediate feeling I get with this is they're experimenting with an open world. They're experimenting with different ways to engage with Pokemon. Like I think one of the cool things that the trailer really shows off is catching Pokemon without even going into a battle, just throwing your Pokeball at Pokemon. And then maybe starting a battle by summoning your Pokemon first. Almost like making things a bit more dynamic rather than just the random battle or, you touch Pokemon, battle starts.
Yeah, well, I think what that kind of hardcore, intense reaction to Sword and Shield showed is that even if they could just make the games exactly as they are and they'd sell well, there are a lot of people out there who want the series to evolve and change the better fit, like its new fidelity on the Switch and with 3D and everything like that. Who want like sort of a ground up rethinking of how this stuff works. So I guess a Breath of the Wilding of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And humorously, it looks just like Breath of the Wild, but it's the same kind of idea where
and say something about Genshin Impact, and Genshin Impact is nothing like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, like I think obviously both games take inspiration from Breath of the Wild, but I definitely think this can be its own game for sure. And sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. See how you like it? I know
I-
Tarzan. Train of thought.
I lost your train of thought too.
Ooh.
I
You're
had
talking about the
no
Breath of-
thoughts.
Breath-
Head empty.
You're talking about Pokemon evolving, becoming Breath of the Wild.
I was gonna link it back to something you said. What was your last point?
About I lost my train of thought.
Shin Megami.
Oh yeah.
Like tech demo,
right.
the
So,
tech demos.
so
and
I
stuff.
guess they feel a bit safer to experiment with the format in such a fundamental way by not calling it the next main Pokemon game, I guess.
Well, I think it goes beyond just that. Like, it's not just about experimenting. It gives them time to work on an engine, make profit off of it, all while giving them time to actually work on the next mainline game because it will have the foundation built from that engine.
Yeah, because
And then they can take what works and what doesn't work and make it better for the next generation. I think that's and now this could just be speculation, but given the fact that Game Freak is the one developing, it's not like they just gave it off to some like third party to make this open world Pokemon game. Like this is Game Freak.
Yeah, this is
Like,
uncharacteristically bold of them.
Yeah.
Not uncharacteristically bold of literally any other game studio ever, but for them, this is like this is a big step, and this is like a completely new game from scratch. So I don't know. I think that's quite intriguing. And I felt a lot more cynically about it when they first showed it off, because the first time they showed it off, not only did we not see as much, but it looked way worse. And I still think it's not looking technically amazing, but it was in a really rough state when they first showed it. And so I thought, okay, they're not going all in. But honestly, I think they just showed it too quickly.
Like it's like, well, I'm gonna level with you. You can't expect the greatest looking stuff coming from Game Freak. That's just the unfortunate reality of the matter. I'd love to see, like, especially if they're taking the time to be able to build an engine before the next Pokemon game. I hope that means the next Pokemon game looks even better.
I'm not saying I should expect it. I just think that they're obviously below par. Like, yeah. I like considering that that Pokemon is the biggest
game. No,
sorry,
but this is the same conversation that people were having around Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon. Like, Game Freak was a studio that made its name making sprite-based JRPGs into the late 2010s. Like,
yeah, but their Game Freak, they don't. It's not like they don't have the resources. I'm
not. But I'm not. And I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
But they aren't like despite having the resources, they aren't a studio known for putting out games with technical prowess or graphical prowess. And I think that's a problem. I think Nintendo and the Pokemon Company should put more money into the game development and give them more time. I think that's another big thing. I think this Arceus game is an effort to give them more time for the next Pokemon release.
Right, because your theory is that this is basically a prep game for the next thing, really, like a. It's gonna feel pretty shitty if it's not, because that's typically what game studios tend to do, anyways. It's like, hey, let's keep building off this one engine. My point with the graphics was that when they first, not to expect greatness from Game Freak, but that the first time they showed it off, it looked unacceptable. Like, it looked so bad the first time, and it looks a bit better. I'll give them that. Yeah, but the first time, oh my god!
I'd say the character models and whatnot, and like some of the more designed areas look fine. The open world still is looking a bit iffy.
The art style is really nice, I think, but it's just technically so below par.
Yeah, it's like I'm personally excited about it being like them going back in time, like seeming to do this history of the
that is cool.
Sinnoh region, which is like, again, and Sinnoh is like the representation of the Hokkaido region, which is the northern region. Like, so if it's gonna feel like it's like Golden Kamui but Pokemon, you know. I think that's gonna be pretty awesome. Like, obviously,
also there's that fluffy boy that went extinct.
I think that's really another good point. Like, having like these different forms of Pokemon from like history's past, you know.
Right, like back when Growliths used to have bangs.
Yeah, when they were part of the boy band phase.
in the feudal times.
Or like other things, like you saying like just these again, I've liked this trend of Game Freak showing like what different Pokemon look like in different regions and whatnot, and now like seeing like how Pokemon may have evolved differently throughout time.
Yeah, no, I think this is great for world building, and I think it's creative that they would change the setting this much. Though I know this is stupid as hell, but God, I really want there to be a war subplot. I want wherever we are to be in violent conflict with another place. I want there to be feudal disputes. I want bandits to show up. And then part of the story is that you got to get the Pokemon to fight for you. And it's 7 samurai, but with Growliths.
Yeah. You say that, but I think actually my biggest concern about this game is it's actually gonna. I worry that it's gonna have a short campaign. It's just gonna be mostly focused on that survey gimmick of like 90% of the game is gonna be running around just catching and surveying Pokemon in different ways.
I can definitely
Kind of,
see
I
it
guess
being
like
content undercooked.
the like I guess I worry that it's just gonna be open world Pokemon Snap, which I would think would be fine in the context of Pokemon Snap. Like the new Pokemon Snap, this new Pokemon Snap, like the actual campaign isn't that long. But you don't play Pokemon Snap for the campaign. You play it to take because it's an on rails arcade Pokemon.
Yes, but this new
photo
game is being shown off as like an RPG, right? So
Well, and an RPG with like this in this mystery around Arceus. You have like this Japanese society like finally like trying to do some research on Pokemon. You have these early Pokeballs and stuff. But because of this, like I wonder what the progression is going to end up being like. It's like you're not going to have gym leaders. You're not going to have like some. I mean, there might be some like equivalent to gym leaders, like in the Sun and Moon, as like where they have the trial captains. Maybe there'll be some sort of trial like thing that you do throughout it. But like I worry it's just going to end up being a tech demo rather than like a fully fledged out Pokemon game.
What do you think about the new like battle mechanic and that you can change like the style of your ability?
I think I think it kind of goes back to just like how Pokemon battles in that game are playing out differently in general, where it's more of a rather than a turn order, it's but like back and forth. But rather than just who has the highest speed, it's like you have that JRPG turn order where, like based off speed, you have people acting out turns.
Yeah, I like it's like you can change your initiative basically.
Yeah.
But it changes the move. I don't know. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I like that as like in addition to the Pokemon gameplay goes, it's not like let's say what I think Gigantamaxing or whatever is, where like it's this whole extra part, but not well. This is like in addition to the core gameplay, like the fundamental
I think
sandbox.
Well, I mean, while I'm not actually sure because I feel like in some ways it's fundamentally turning a lot of Pokemon battles on its head because and I think it like fundamentally changes what strategizing around Pokemon battles are, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I don't necessarily think it's going to stick around for the mainline.
Sure, well, it's an interesting idea.
Games.
Like as as an addition, I think this feels less kind of
I think it turned
meaningless than some of the other things.
Well, I think done. Well, I think it ends up turning into more of a strategy game than it does a necessarily a core RPG sort of game.
I think that has an appeal to me. Like I like this idea. Like personally,
I mean, like it. I mean,
this is cool.
To be honest, I like it a lot. I personally like those sort of systems a lot better than just whoever has the highest speed attacks in any given turn, because then at that point it's very easy to get fucked over by high speed units. Where this is like, I mean, it is the Digimon Adventure. It is quite literally like the same battle system that Digimon Adventure uses, except you can choose if you want to have fast attacks or strong attacks, like that sort of like turn order. I think Final Fantasy X also uses this turn order. I don't remember exactly, or some Final Fantasy.
Okay.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's cool that they're mixing things up, and I think maybe it will. It might be just them throwing shit at the fantasy with sticks.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, if this really is a experimental kind of game or a way to build the engine, like this is where to mess around with stuff like that. May as well chuck in anything you can think of.
Yeah, and I think it also helps give it its own identity as well. And I actually think that like it choosing like it having a different battle style, I think makes sense thematically or whatever too, because at least what they're showing with the trailer, it seems like you're supposed to take this game a bit slower and more thoughtfully, like with how you're engaging with each Pokemon.
Yeah, well, rather than also just
you're running through it.
I'm sure running around the map has that more Breath of the Wild feel of like contemplative exploration with like I can imagine all these kind of environmental noises and just like really being in the world and seeing the Pokemon run around. Like I think the entire game will probably have a slower, more involved pace.
Yeah, and I think it
You
has
know,
potential of
because early game Pokemon wasn't already enough of a slog.
well, I think there's a difference between like something necessarily being a slog and being slow and thoughtful. Like old JRPGs were in a lot of ways were slow, just due to the limitations of the time and needing to like grind units and go around try to catch specific Pokemon, rather than like thoughtfully thinking about how am I going to engage with these Pokemon or how am I going to engage with this area.
Yeah, it's purposeful atmospheric slowness, like Seven Samurai. Okay, I'm gonna stop referencing that movie now.
Like I am very sure you could probably beat the game just by blasting through it, and just throw a Pokemon and do a Pokemon battles. But
Oh, I'm honestly I'm sure that like I feel like this game's probably gonna be easy as fuck. I feel like it's gonna be light on content. I've been really positive on like a lot of the potential of this game, and I do think it looks better than it did before. But I think the fact that it's coming out in like January is kind of a red flag. It feels like I just have a suspicion this game is going to feel a bit undercooked and be fine, because that's what I expect from Game Freak.
Yeah, and that's what it's like. I'm stuck on this thing of like I don't know if I'm gonna like on some extent I want to get it on launch day, like especially if it's like really good, and I want to play the shit out of it. Like it really interests me. On the other hand, I also realize this has the potential of being hot shit. But January is gonna come around. I'm gonna buy a new Pokemon game. It's either gonna be Diamond, like Shining, Brilliant Shining Pearl, or it's gonna be Legend of Arceus. Just depends on which one. Like depends on if Legend of Arceus is any good or not.
We'll see what the reviews say. Like if Arceus reviews really well, but all the Pokemon games review well, but they're still Pokemon.
I think it being a spin-off, like I feel like it's not going to get the same like immediate love that
you think people are even more suspicious and a bit more genuine because of that, because it's like a new thing. Because the branding is slightly different. It's possible.
No jokes on you, this is the new Pokemon game.
I mean, essentially, yeah. It just like doesn't have like the label of
It's a new region. It's called Hisuian region. I mean, it's a new region you're exploring in Pokemon, brand new. You know?
Yeah.
It's just like how Coliseum and XD Gale Darkness are mainline Pokemon games.
Ooh.
And this has been Bros in a Landfill?
Yeah. Before you say anything else to get us canceled by Pokemon Twitter, shut it off! Click all the switches. How do we? This show is not that complicated of an operation.
And this has been Bros in a Landfill. Play Sonic Spinball.
Hang on, I gotta take a sledgehammer to the main console. Are we off the air?